you have a passion for, giving messages and talking to CMOs, chief marketing officers. So what would be your message with web accessibility and the leadership that CMOs need to take with this?
It's a great question. And I think the first message would be, don't think this doesn't apply to you, right? And kind of a 1B to that is, don't assume it's being taken care of by someone under you, right? Get in there, be hands-on. And then the third part of that is, don't assume, to Steve Barnes's point about, you're not just, quote, checking the box, if you will, slapping up a logo on a window in a store that says we're ADA compliant and I'm done, right? It's so far, as you see in the article in Steve Barnes's words, it's so much deeper than that, right? And unfortunately, the lawsuits are a great example, and I think they're going to keep going, because so many brands either have their head in their sand willingly or unknowingly, right? They're coming, right? If you don't address this, no one is immune to this, nor should they be immune to this. So the message is to CMOs, you better find out what you're doing right now on your site and your properties, right? Because if you don't, they're coming, and they should.
I've spoken to 3 CMOs just today. One was for a university, one was for a major retailer, and one was for a real estate area type site. And these are all people we've had conversations with in the past. And what's happening is they're taking advice from peers on how to solve. And when you say check the box, I say these are the ones trying to throw what's called a layover on top of their website and call it a day. That's a Band-Aid, and it's just purely a facade. And there is a settlement against ADP that late last year was published. And it clearly states and even names some of the companies. They say that those are not going to cut it.
No, it's just that head in the sand thing, right?
But Steve, I was thinking in great points, because as you were talking with the CMO angle, I was thinking your last article before this was about the CMO and the CIO relationship.
Yep.
And how that needs to be solid, on point. They need to be best friends, pretty much. And
Yep.
I was thinking that applies here, because if you were a restaurant that was trying to make everything compliant, ADA compliant, you would have a contractor that was to the letter building everything like ramps and stairs and elevators and all that. That's like the CIO on a digital sense, right? The CIO is the contractor in digital, right? Great
point. And you're right. The onus doesn't only fall on the CMO, right? It's the CIO, CTO who absolutely has a role in this. And I'm sure, Steve Barnes will agree with that completely, that it's not just one person's responsibility, which actually leads to an interesting point or conversation or topic, that you also don't want to make it an assumption, if you're a CMO, that it's the CIO's responsibility, right? Or vice versa. And I don't know, Steve Barnes, if you've come across that, but I'd be shocked if you haven't, or even if you haven't, that does not exist, where it's kind of that, not my problem, someone else.
That we see that a lot. Denial is absolutely the first reaction. And there's kind of a finger pointing. First, it goes from CMO to CIO or CTO, then it goes to third-party platform, and then it bounces back at them. It's really the company. So someone needs to step up. And by the way, this is a great opportunity to be a hero and open your content up to 25% more people just in the US alone, but also to stand for something and to move this narrative forward, because it's not going anywhere. The Department of Justice has made that very clear. If you don't conform to this, you will pay. It is so much cheaper to address it now, grab the team. I'm seeing these in real time. Over the last 2 years, I've been involved with remediating sites for third-party media. They go, why didn't we just do this? And no one ever has an answer. It's because, well, we didn't want to spend the money. We didn't understand it. Look, we help try to get you to understand it by doing things like this interview. Like, we'll talk to you, call us. Even though we have no peace in websites, I'm loving just sharing the information so you're aware.